first sermon in English. So it's my first time in my life preaching in English. Just please bear with me. Okay? So, good morning, brothers and sisters in Christ. Thank you. This morning, may God fill you, your heart with God's blessing and love. I would like to ask you a question, just one question. Do you like to receive a gift? Yeah, everyone do. I do. When I got married over this summer, many friends gave me various gifts. What is the best gift for you have received in your life? What is the best gift? Is it money? Yeah. Yeah. The best gift I have received from my friends for this wedding is an apron. You know, surprisingly, it is an apron, 앞치마. An apron. Yeah, my friends want me to serve my wife and cook for her and wash dishes for her. So, it evokes many thoughts about the nature of the gift. If you buy a gift for someone you love and you don't actually give it to the person, the gift is meaningless, right? And it loses its value. A gift should be given to somebody, should be sent to somebody. I think our lives are similar to the nature of a gift. First one, God has given us our life as a gift. That's why we are worthy to live in this world. Let me explain more about it. Sometimes some of you may face uncomfortable situations and may feel depressed sometimes. For me, sometimes I feel I'm stupid when I'm studying because I have to read over 300 pages weekly and week by week. So I cannot do that or do that. So this experience undermines my self-respect and my feeling. Whenever I am surrounded by negative feelings, I just think that God has given me my life as a gift. I have a parable about this. One of my professors told me a good story. Here is the story. He has a daughter who really likes an old bear doll, like bear doll. Even though it is worn out and dirty. My professor and his wife want to throw it away, but whenever they try to throw it away, they fail because their daughter cried a lot when they tried. A long story short, finally her father captured a really good opportunity to throw it away. And he prepared a really good new doll, like pretty doll, and he gets ready to dump old one. But he fails because when he picked it up, the old doll, when he picked up, he realized if we throw it away, his daughter gonna cry a lot. And when coming back from school, there is nothing and there's no reason for him to love the doll. But because of the fact his daughter loves the doll, so he cannot throw it away. Even though the doll is really dirty, ugly, but it has a life because his daughter loves this doll. This story gives us a really good, significant insight. When I look upon myself, I sometimes feel there's nothing to love myself. There's no reason to love myself when I'm depressed. Like there is nothing to love about the bear doll. But I do not submit myself to the pseudo doubt, the first doubt, because I know God's love me. Because I know God gives me a life as a gift. Because of this fact, I'm worthy to be loved and live this world. In the same sense, God gives you life and loves you. That's why you are worthy to be loved regardless of who you are and where you live, where you're from, and what skin colors you have. Our lives are gifts given by God. Second, if our lives are gift like a gift, they should be sent to somebody who needs it. As Jesus Christ, God's ultimate gift, He offered Himself to save us. Christians also give themselves to somebody who don't know God's love, who needs God's love. And so I want to ask you, are you a really gift to somebody? Yeah, here is the problem. It is not easy to live as a gift. When we may find that busy daily life forces us to just focus on yourself, making hard to give attention to someone else. We may find that we grow indifferent rather than hospitable in our life. But it is certain, if we have no room for others in our life, we're going to fail to give my life to somebody. We're going to fail to live as a good Christian. Eventually, this leaves us empty. So, while we care only for ourselves, there are things happening in our society. Our society is so diligent to divide people, and so diligent to make a lot of wall between people, and divide between you and I. Whenever I see tall walls protecting houses, whenever I hear heartbreaking news like gun issue and violence, I can see how society makes wall between people. As a result, we fear unknown place. We fear unknown people. And society triggers these feelings and makes us distrust each other. Thus, it is imperative to think about our responsibility as a Christian in this time. In his book, The Scapegoat, French philosopher René Girard says that society makes scapegoats and oppresses them in order to make society secure and safe. What's the role of the scapegoat? Although scapegoat is innocent, has no responsibility, and has no sin, but they are carrying other sins, other people's sin, and other people's responsibility, and eventually they are killed for them. We may find a lot of examples of the scapegoat around us to stabilize society. Some countries have made a war in history. When the Great Kanto earthquake happened in Japan in 1923, the Japanese government oppresses a lot of foreigners and blame them for the cause of earthquake in order to stabilize Japanese society. Nowadays, we can see many examples of making scapegoats and oppressing the weak. By doing so, some sustain and some expand their benefits. While we are just focusing on our issue, even while we offer ourselves as a gift to somebody, society makes wars between men and women, between ethnic groups, and it producing hatred and negative images toward our neighbors. So that's why Paul here today from the Bible chapter, Paul returned his attention to Jesus Christ. Jesus comes to us as a gift. The life of Jesus Christ is a target we should aim to emulate. A theologian, C.S. Song, he names Jesus' work as crossing the board. Like there is a line, crossing the board. Is Jesus' work, this work of Jesus Christ. You can see this in the Bible. He meets sinners crossing the board. Sinner, we don't want to meet them. But he did. He meets sinners whom other people don't want to meet and even don't talk. And Jesus Christ talks to women, which is not common at the time. Jesus walks freely among Samaritans and Jews, among Gentiles and Jews, among men and women, among sinners and righteous, among rich and poor. Eventually, Jesus Christ set them free. Whenever Jesus crosses the board, life-giving events happen. It's so obvious. You can see this in the story of Zacchaeus. Do you like Zacchaeus? He accepts the fact Jesus Christ accepts him Because of his job as a tax collector, people don't like him, don't even talk to him. After encountering Jesus, he gives up what he's doing. Instead of focusing on himself, he turns his eyes to people who are unknown to them, unknown to him. Now he has courage to come over the board and get to know unknown people. But there's a thing, people who know Jesus Christ accepts them. They also accept other people in their lives. They have a room inside of them and invite someone to come over their place. We can see this in the Bible. Yeah, I think Jesus is like an earthworm going through the dead soil and make a lot of holes underneath of the ground and making the hole and the soil can breathe. Then there is life can breathe in this soil. In today's reading from Paul's letter to the Ephesians, he describes the work of Jesus Christ as a reconciler. And he insists, this work is a Christian work too. Jesus Christ destroyed the wall between people and unites them in one love. Why did Paul write it down to Ephesian church? It is so easy, it is so obvious, because there were conflict and struggle in Ephesian church. Gentile Christians and Jewish Christians in the same church would argue their own tradition is right. Their own tradition is more appropriate in the church. But from Paul's perspective, this behavior is not good. This behavior is not appropriate for Christians. So here, Paul intentionally used the term, the dividing wall, in verse 14. By this, he reminds his readers of the wall around Jerusalem temple. In 1st century CE, before the temple was destroyed, Gentiles, sinners, and Samaritans could not come into the inner court in the Jerusalem temple. So the dividing wall means if you are outside of the dividing wall, you are not children of God. If you are inside of Jerusalem temple, you are children of God. Only the people inside of the temple, they are children of God. So members of the lower social class are doubly isolated. First, by two things. First one is poverty, like socio-economical status. By second one, religion, the Jewish religion. But Paul says Jesus Christ gets rid of this wall. Those people outside the wall, they are also children of God. All people are children of God. There is no division in Jesus Christ. By explaining the work of Jesus Christ, Paul urges the church members to be united in the one love, the love of Jesus Christ. And Paul says, so then you are no longer strangers and aliens, but you are citizens with the saints and also members of the household of God. Verse 19. As a Korean and Christian, I want to share my inheritance of faith. But this faith, this inheritance is not only mine, but also yours. Korea received the good news of Jesus Christ through U.S. missionary back in the late 800s. At the time, so later, Korea was colonized by Japan, and people's lives were broken. It was hard to find hope for them, among them. They was under the pressure of violence all the time. But a Methodist pastor and medical doctor, his name is William Benton Scranton, taught what hope is to Korean people, what hope means to Korean people. At the time, foreigners only could stay in one particular area, so-called Jeongdong. You may know Jeongdong from people here. So, Jeongdong was a place only elites and politicians and rich people could stay. The main philosophy of Korea was Confucianism at the time, which is based on strict hierarchical system. Ordinary people cannot have a conversation with elite people, and they cannot even make an eye contact. Thus, Jeongdong was notorious for ordinary people. Jeongdong is itself the dividing wall in Korean society. Scranton might have thought that Jeongdong was the dividing wall too, because people living in Jeongdong area, they didn't need medical doctor because they already have. But people outside of Jeongdong, they need a medical doctor. When he told his friends and fellow missionary, hey friends, I want to go outside of Jeongdong and I want to serve them, I want to heal them, I want to preach the word of God to the people outside of Jeongdong. But his friends replied to him, don't do that. It is not a good idea going outside of Jeongdong. Perhaps they knew the fact there was an endemic disease around, and there were dangerous and uneducated people. They can harm you. Don't go there. Don't go outside of Jeongdong. But Scranton felt he had to go outside of Jeongdong, and he actually did it. So outside of Jeongdong, he healed the people, and he preached word of God, going outside the wall the society made. A lot of people encountered Jesus Christ through him. Finally, the Korean government affirmed his ministry and built a hospital, which is still one of the biggest hospitals in Korea. And his cook, named Jeon Deok-ki, he became ordained minister in Methodist Church, following Scranton's example. If he, Scranton, had focused on only his own career, he wouldn't have gone outside of Jeongdong. If he had cared only for his family, he wouldn't have gone outside of Jeongdong. If he had cared only about his money and time, he wouldn't have gone outside of Jeongdong. If he had thought people outside of Jeongdong is dangerous, they are uneducated, he wouldn't have gone outside of Jeongdong. If he had not gone outside of Jeongdong, God wouldn't have worked through him. But he went outside of Jeongdong, and he preached, and God worked through him. And this is what I learned from Scranton. This is my faith inheritance. I've learned that God reconciles two different things, and unite them in one love. God calls us to reconcile others as Jesus did. Our society is still dividing us between you and me, and making a fearful environment, and teaching us to focus on only ourselves rather than others. But we are called to be a gift. And we need to be delivered to somebody who don't know Jesus Christ, who don't know God's love, who need God's love, who need God's grace. We should be delivered to unknown people. Open your safe zone and invite others into your life. Then I believe Jesus Christ dwells in that relationship. And I hope, brothers and sisters in Jesus Christ, I hope God works through you when you open your heart, when you open your safe zone, and invite someone into your boundary, and share God's love, share God's compassion, share God's grace. Then God works through you. Amen.